These are the plaintiffs, John and Lydia Havilanner. John says the defendants are nasty people. The vicious dog attacked their dog for no reason, and they refuse to pay their vet bills. Their poor dog is still traumatized by this. He had to have surgery. He cries at night, and they're here suing these uncaring people for every penny of the $2,952.27 they owe. These are the defendants, Amy Hall and Matthew Oliveira. Amy admits their very playful Labrador Lucy got out, but it was the plaintiff's dog who attacked and bit first. That's right. They have 3 little yappy, aggressive dogs. One of them bit Lucy in the neck, and she simply defended herself. Things happen when you're a pet owner, and the plaintiffs over there just have to deal with it and move on. They're accused of causing some doggone injuries.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs say the defendant's vicious dog attacked their poor little pooch, and the dog is still suffering. But the defendants admit their lab Lucy got out, but the plaintiff's dog was the aggressor. It's the case of not everyone loves Lucy.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, John Havilanner and Lydia Havilanner, you are suing Amy Hall and Matthew Oliveira for vet bills plus credit card interest that you've incurred on the vet bills because, according to you, their dog attacked your dog. What happened?
So on Thanksgiving Day, my dad and my 11-year-old son.
Is this your dad?
This is my dad, yeah.
Okay, were you there when the attack happens?
No.
Okay, so let's switch places and let me hear from Dad, who was actually there. Okay.
Thank you.
What happened?
Well, like she said, I was out walking the dog, and I had my dog on the left side, her dog on my right hand, and we walked down the street, and then there's this little
Are they both on a leash?
Both on a leash,
Okay.
yep. My grandson was right next to me.
How old is the grandson?
He's 11.
Okay. Oy.
And he was next to me with his dog. He's got a little Chihuahua dog, too.
Okay.
So we go down the street.
So 3 yappy dogs.
Yeah, 3 dogs. And then we take a left into the park, and all of a sudden, this dog came up behind me and grabbed my dog.
Was that dog on a leash?
No, he
Okay.
just ran.
Grabbed which dog?
The little dog, Lydia's little dog.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a miniature Schnauzer poodle.
Okay.
It's 5 pounds.
Ugh.
Really tiny, about this big. So grabbed her. This dog grabbed her by the neck, and they found out later it got her lung got punctured too because her tooth was in there.
Right.
And started shaking her like this back
Right.
and forth. And I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. So I looked over, and then I looked behind me, and I saw this gentleman here coming out from his house.
Okay.
He ran over and grabbed the dog by the collar and pulled him back, and my dog dropped on the ground and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And so I went over and grabbed the dog and put her in my arm because she was bleeding all over the place. And I told my grandson, we have to get home so we can take the dog to the vet. He was in my arm.
And
She
did
was
you
on
go
my
to the
arm
vet?
bleeding.
Did
Yes,
you go to
I
the
did.
emergency
Yes,
vet?
I went home, told Lydia first that we needed to take her to the vet right away.
Do you have the medical records from the vet and the amount that you ended up paying? How do you find out who it was?
Well, I saw the house that the dog came from and where the people
Oh,
came
okay.
from.
So you told them which house it was.
I told them the house, right?
Did either of you ever talk to them?
Yes.
Who talked to them?
Well, they tried to contact them.
Tell me about that.
So we had sent 2 certified letters to the addresses.
Wait. No, certified letters. That comes way later. I mean that
Oh,
day.
that day, yeah.
Did they contact you? Did you contact them? Did anything happen?
We contacted the police. The police came
Yeah.
and filled out a police report,
And gave you the name.
Yes.
and they went
Okay.
over and talked to them.
And then so what happened?
I was there actually. He actually followed me out later on. My son and I, my lab Lucy and my other dog Chandler, they both got out of the backyard.
How?
We have pallets on the side of the house because we don't have a fence yet. So we stood pallets up, but for some reason one of the pallets was down, and we didn't realize it until they both kind of looked around and heard the little dogs barking and took off in front of
Who's
the house.
they? Oh, the dogs?
The dogs.
All
sorry.
right. So they hear the dogs barking, and then they took off, and what happened?
To the front of the house. My son and I followed them out. My son ran out first, actually. Both of the dogs ran between the 2 people and the 2 dogs. And my lab, which she's being told that she grabbed the dog just on purpose, like did
On purpose?
Well,
What do you mean?
So if the defendant's dog is charging, can the defendant say, well, my dog was just playing, my dog was never going to attack? Is that a defense?
Listen, you can argue whatever you want, whether or not the judge believes it.
Well, what do you say?
Strict liability generally applies in cases like this.
We'll talk about that. What do you say?
I say they shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be responsible?
I mean, the other person was willing to let their dogs play together. I mean,
Well, it wasn't playing, it was charging.
I mean, I would say it's an aggressive dog, so the owner's got to take responsibility.
Fair enough, going inside the courtroom.
You think your dog was trying to play?
Yes.
By grabbing her neck and doing the animal kingdom thing?
She ran between the two dogs, and then this gentleman over here started hitting her with a leash and started yelling at her. And the two little yippy dogs bit her. So, in retaliation...
So what's your defense? Self-defense? Is that your defense? Okay. I need you to join me back on planet Earth.
Sorry.
These are animals. We don't blame the animals, folks. They act like, animals.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we blame the humans. What a court of law looks at is what is the conduct of the humans. We have rules and regulations for all of you. And one of them is you keep your dogs contained. So if you don't have a fence, your dog isn't outside without a leash. Get it? So what is your defense? Yappy dog is your defense? He just wanted to play. Are you kidding me? That's your actual defense? You guys let your dog run loose, whether by accident or design is irrelevant to me. But it's almost by design when you're, we have pallets up, a pallet got down somehow, we don't know, we don't have a fence. That's not particularly an effort to contain your dog. What did you do when you realized what had happened? What did you do? Did you seek them out, give them your name and number? What happened?
Well, I ran out and I took the little dog out of my dog's mouth and I offered to help, but the gentleman started swearing at me and yelling at me, telling me I should have the dog put down and I shouldn't have this kind of dog around. And I said, you know what? I said, at least I should bring the dog to the vet.
Oh, well, that was helpful advice, but after that, what happens?
The police came.
Was it the police or was it animal control?
It was the police department.
Okay, and what happens on that day? They talk to you and they say what?
They came to the house and they told me that the little dog was in the vet hospital.
Okay, and?
And they said that they were going to probably press charges.
And?
And
did you get a citation for the loose dog or anything else?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened with that?
And I have another court date for that too.
Okay, well, what's your defense going to be there? Because you got no defense. Why don't you just pay it and save yourself a court date? Because you're going to pay it one way or another. Your dog got out and bit another dog. I don't understand how you stand here and defend it. I understand that a dog can get out. I would be so humiliated that my dog got out, and I would have a fence. Or I wouldn't have a dog out. I'd have a leash. But you have, like, nothing, and you're actually standing here defending the case and going to the court and defending the ticket.
Well, I didn't think the dog would attack the dog if he wasn't getting hit by a leash and attacked by other dogs.
No. If there's a dog that is loose and it's
because I also have.
Sorry. Hold on.
Am I just thinking I'm saying things, or are the words coming out of my mouth?
Well, you're thinking awfully loudly.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. Right. If there is a dog that comes barreling towards my dog, you better believe that I'm going to do what I can to make sure that I'm sure that your testimony is you started hitting the dog after it wouldn't let go of your dog, so don't worry about it. But even if it's just coming at me, I'm not going to wait for the attack. You know, you think that people have an obligation to test how friendly your dog is? No, you have an obligation for your dog not to get out. My verdict is for the plaintiffs in the amount of the full amount, including your credit card interest, because you shouldn't have to incur that, plus your court costs, $2,952.27.
Well, the plaintiffs certainly do prevail here. Ms. Hall, if you'll step over here, Mr. Oliveira. I never understood, did you offer to pay the vet bills? You obviously didn't, or you wouldn't be here.
I didn't even know who they were, honestly, until I got the police report and the notification to come to court.
So they never came to you to ask you to pay the bills or present the bills to you?
No, instead I
all?
got harassment messages on my Facebook saying that I shouldn't be a dog lover because I
Well, I
left
mean, look,
dogs
their
to
dogs
die.
are really suffering. I'm surprised you didn't go to them and offer to pay the bill.
We had no idea where they were to even do that.
You didn't know where they were?
Yeah.
That's all right.
With
I mean,
father-in-law,
it looks like you
so I
didn't
don't
do
know.
anything to try and alleviate this matter. You didn't. You owe them the money. All right. You must sign some documents. I don't know. Well, if I were you, I'm certainly not surprised to see you in court. They didn't make any overtures to you at all? None?
None. Ain't like flowers or anything.
Nothing?
Nothing.
How about that? Well, look, congratulations. How's the dog now?
She's fine now. She's good.
She's going to be okay?
Yes.
And I know it was tragic for you. Yeah, we all can understand that. Well, look, I hope you don't have to undergo this again. Good luck to you all, okay?
Thank you.
And good luck to your dog.
Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Harvey, how uncaring can people be?
I mean, look, the leash law is the beginning and end of this story. The dog was not on a leash, case closed. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.